we've been real fortunate over the years, for the last 15 years anyway, of working with a lot of dentists across the country and working with their mass marketing as far as their advertising is concerned. And I say across the country, we're talking New York to Los Angeles, Chicago to Houston, and everything in between. And what happened when we first started working with dentists, this had to do with when we were promoting cosmetic dentistry. And we had put together a 10-minute infomercial that we repeated 3 times and actually advertised on cable and some broadcast television. And we got some pretty good results off of it. Enough that this particular project went on for a period of about a year to a year and a half until it basically burned out. And from that point, the cosmetic dentistry industry became a little bit more difficult because everybody was becoming a cosmetic dentist. So we thought that maybe the dental industry might be done until we found out a particular client had called me up asking if we could do radio advertising for him, okay, because we had just been doing cable and broadcast television. And I said, of course we can do broadcast radio advertising, and he told me what he wanted to do, that he wanted to advertise sedation dentistry, that there had been some doctors on the East Coast that had been advertising sedation dentistry and had been quite successful with it, and asked me to put it together. And they'd been advertising on news talk radio, which traditionally for our audience, which our primary demographic are women 35 to 64, in just about every category, okay? 35 to 64, news talk radio really wasn't where the audience was. It was in music radio. But somebody had told somebody that they didn't get results off of music radio, so they wanted to go on news talk. Well, it took quite a bit of convincing to go after the women of the age of 35 to 64 on radio without news talk. And it turned out to be quite successful, okay, to the point to where in one particular market we were advertising on 4 radio stations to reach that market of women 35 to 64. I knew that if we were going to do this type of advertising, that television was the way to go. And the reason being is we were going to reach a lot more people. Even with 4 radio stations, we were only reaching about half of our total audience as far as women 35 to 64. So convinced them to go on television. And from that point on, any market that we're able to do television, we're buying television. Any market that we can't buy television, we're looking for a mix of cable and radio. And then there's some markets that we just do radio completely or totally. Just because the other mediums just aren't available as far as the percentage of penetration with the cable companies, or the size of the television stations is just too expensive to actually advertise on.